Hey, this is Dave coming at you again from beautiful Vermont. This is Friday, launch day, 10/11, and I wanted to go over the new ENV2 blog beast. It's quite a bit different than the old blog, and there's lots and lots of changes, and I thought I would sort of introduce you to a couple of the changes. So first off, your URL is different than it was before. It used to be empowernetwork.com / and your username. Now it's a subdomain of empowernetwork.com. So when you go to that page, this is what you see. And if you go up here to the right of your picture, if you've done that yet, and you go down to view and edit my blog, you're not actually editing a blog, you're editing the blog. In other words, your blog, not in any individual posts. And when you do that, right here to the left, you're going to see this little plus sign. If you hit that, it's going to drop down. You're going to have all this customizations that you can do. You can change the background color. You can change the article background color. You can change your sidebar options. Like I did here, it's on the left now instead of the way it's been forever on the right. I just did it just because I wanted to be different. And the title color you can change. Obviously, you can change the font as well. Not sure, nothing yet about any background or anything like that, but so far those are the changes you can make to the navigation bar, to the blog. If you click on navigation bar, speaking of that, you can turn off Empower Branding, would not suggest that, and the search bar. Well, obviously you can turn that off if you want to. Not a big deal. It's just that little tiny search gizmo that's like right here. So if you want, you can do that. And whenever you make any changes, you have to just click Save Changes. And it's been updated. Let's go on to the next thing. SEO options. This is something you should and need to set up. Meta tag title, your blog title. You can put any description tag in here and any keywords as you want. But most importantly is your Google Analytics. That's one thing that didn't get moved over because it's a different URL. So if you want to do that, which I highly suggest that you do, go and log into Google Analytics, go to admin and create a new property, get your new tracking ID, and grab that ID and populate it inside here and click Save Changes again. So your Google Analytics will be set up for your new URL for your new blog. Footer data, moving on. This is already set up for you automatically, which is really awesome. The terms and conditions, the TOC, you get the refund, the privacy, the income, and also the support desk. And if you want, you can put a 6th or 7th link in here. I'm pretty sure you can put more, but you don't want to put too many because that's way down here on the bottom. And these are all the links. And you see this is the one that I added, which is my personal blog site, which I might have and I might get rid of later. So that's the footer data. Page customization. Again, this is probably going to be modified a bit from what it is right now. So page customization, when you get there, this section isn't used right now, so they're still in the process of moving some stuff over because obviously none of those pages show up here. So just don't pay attention to that right now. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. And move on to custom domain. This is very, very important and very cool. And obviously this is a new thing which is going to allow you to post your domain on Facebook, finally, by creating your own custom domain. So when you click on custom domain, what that's going to do is bring you to this page. And you need to follow the instructions very carefully. Set up your own custom domain. Basically, what you're going to be able to do is going to take a domain that you already own, if you have to have access to it, obviously. Let's say davedoobie.com, because I'm using here as a reference Dave Doobie ENV2 blog. So if I wanted to point davedoobie.com to the daviddoobie-env2 blog.empowernetwork.com domain, I would create a custom domain by putting in here, I would put in davedoobie.com. And that would, in fact, because obviously it's available, that would in fact forward that domain to this URL, which is my David Dubey ENV2 blog. Okay? So you probably only have one blog, but I didn't do that because I already have a custom domain for that. So anyway, this is what you need to do, is you need to follow these instructions. You can forward a subdomain to your new Empower Network subdomain by doing it the way that you always did it. In other words, create a subdomain and say the forwarding to the domain is going to be your new Empower Network blog.empowernetwork.com, the URL that you were just looking here, like that. Okay? Whatever yours is. If you don't want to do that, and if you want to forward the whole domain like this, then you need to have access, as I said, to your domain, and you need to change and configure the DNS with a new CNAME record, is what it's called. So what you're going to actually have to do is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't try to do this yourself. You're going to go to your hosting company, whoever hosts your domain, and tell them that you want to add a new CNAME to your existing DNS record for your domain. I'll repeat that. You're going to call them and tell them, all I want to do is add a new CNAME record to my existing DNS, to my domain. All right? So if it's davedubey.com, obviously you're not going to have that. You're going to call them up and say, and the first thing they're going to probably ask you is, what's the alias? Don't get freaked out. The alias is going to be this, your domain. In other words, if it's bobsmith.empowernetwork.com, that's going to be your alias. Whatever your blog subdirectory is, that whole thing. And there's no http://www in front of it. It's simply the subdomain and the domain empowernetwork.com. That's the alias. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, let me pause the video for a second and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to go in my back of my office. I'm going to use davedubey.com. This is what one-on-one domain looks like. It's really easy. And if you're at all technical, and if you can follow this, this is how easy it is. You click on the domain you want to forward. You want to change the DNS. You're going to click on DNS, edit DNS settings. You click on that. And yours probably will look very much like that. This is the domain name that you want to forward to your Empower Network blog. Right here, you're going to click CNAME. And here is the alias that they're going to need to know what it is. So that alias is going to be your Empower Network subdomain and domain name. And you're going to simply paste that in there. Again, make sure that there's no http:// which it's automatically going to put it in. You're going to take all that out and just leave only the subdomain and the domain. You're going to click on that. I am aware that when I accept this, it's going to change, and any email associated with davedubey.com or whatever your domain name is going to be disabled. So make sure that you have all the email that you want for whatever domain you're going to use. You're going to put that in there. You're going to click OK. In the case of one-on-one, it's ready in about 5 minutes, but most companies it's going to take a little bit longer than that. And that's all there is to it.